guys, so this is the look we're going to create today. Looking at my viewfinder, I can see that my eyeshadow is very bright. I promise you, if you use it correctly, it won't be this bright. Just blend a bit more quickly. It's actually a very like warm orange colour, and the whole point of this look is it's my everyday current everyday makeup, and I've been doing this for the past, I like to say 3 to 4 weeks, so maybe a month, I think, since just before February, I think, so towards the end of January. Oh, I'm so mumbled everywhere, I don't know. I haven't done a makeup video in ages, so this feels weird. But this is the look I did, and this is the look I do most days, sometimes with the eyeshadow, sometimes without, but this is it really. It's very much luminous, all about the colour on the cheeks, not really contouring as such, just very flushed, fresh, awake kind of look. And it's light, it's not really heavy or anything, because that's the whole point, is to be light for the day, because I'm at uni all day, most of the time from like roughly 9-10 till about 5-6, so I don't get home till about 5-6 sometimes, so that's the whole point, is to be light and stuff, and it's fresh and easy to touch up if you need to too. So yeah, this is it. There's not much else I can say about it, apart from I hope you really like this video. It's a bit of a chit chat video, but obviously I have edited bits out. But yeah, it's chit chat because it's easier to do a chit chat because I'm lazy at doing voiceovers, I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and yeah, onto the video. Okay, so to begin, I've already applied my moisturiser because I've just come out of the shower, and I've got a little hairband pushing my hair back because it's just freshly blow dried and it's not going to sit in place. But the next thing, oh, so I've put lip balm on. The next thing is just before priming, I need to put this extra thing which I want to share with you guys. It's called Clinique Moisture Surge Extended Thirst Relief Gel Cream. Long name, but essentially it's a moisturiser, but I've been using it lately around my nose because when I'm ill I get really dry skin around my nose, and that's what's been happening the last 2 weeks. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been helping make sure my foundation goes on nicely, because the foundation I'm using today, or have been using lately, is one that kind of clings to your dry areas if you don't like moisturize properly. So this has really been helping make sure it does sit properly. Just rub it around this area because this is my dry area, but anyway, that is your dry area. So for priming, I first use the Avon makeup setting spray, and I spritz that all over my face. I just like the way that feels, and the way it kind of helps my makeup to set underneath, because obviously most people use the setting spray on top, but I do use it on top too, but I use it underneath as well, so I just let that kind of like fan dry it, because usually when I do this makeup I'm on my way to uni, so I usually try quickly fan dry it with my hands. Oh, my hands look weird. And then I move on to an actual primer, which is the Stay Matte Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. I've mentioned this before, I love it quite a bit, so yeah, and I just get a like dollop amount, I guess I could say, and work on my actual like oily areas. So yeah guys, this is going to be a chit chat get ready with me or everyday makeup routine, because that's what my last one was, so, and it worked really well and everyone seemed to like it, so someone did this time too. So first, lately I've been doing my concealer under my foundation, because usually I do foundation and then conceal, but this is what I've been doing lately because it makes sure that I don't use too much foundation, and it gives me like a lighter application, which I kind of like lately. So I use the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Concealer. It has a really long name, so yeah, and I just do it on my under eyes. And actually that's it, just my under eyes usually, that's where I do it nowadays. I used to do it quite like a lot, so under my eyes, down the nose bridge and stuff like that, but I don't do it there lately. I do if I'm going for a high, like more coverage kind of full on makeup, but for an everyday thing I don't do that anymore because it requires too much work for everyday, which I don't need to do, so I've done that and I look really crazy right now. And then I take my Real Techniques Miracle Sponge and I blend it out. Need my mirror. I also feel like because this is a brightening concealer, if it's underneath my foundation it kind of looks more natural, and it looks like your skin's bright from underneath, I guess. So it's like naturally brightening it. I guess. So yeah, I quite like doing it like this, it's nicer. And that's that then. Okay, so next what I do is my actual foundation now. So you guys might remember if I mentioned it in I think it's the last video, that I'm kind of trying to go cruelty free, so I won't be buying from certain brands, and one of those brands is L'Oreal. But I just recently found out that I have a product of this, so obviously I'm going to use the products that I have, and it's the Nude Magique. It came out sometime last year, I think. I've had it since then. I think I used it last summer maybe, and I didn't really use it after that, so I decided to start using it, and it works. It does the trick. It's a lighter foundation than my regular Estee Lauder Double Wear, so that's what I use. Oh, first I gotta shake it up though. Oh, and forgot to mention what shade I'm in. 190 Beige Rose. So yeah, and it's the perfect shade for me as well, so that's great because I don't tend to get perfect shades. I usually end up being in the middle of two shades when it comes to drugstore foundation, so this one's brilliant. So I've shaked it up and I try and pour it into my hand. It is really liquidy, so it's really watery because it's like a water based one. That's the whole point of it being lighter and stuff, but you kind of gotta be careful. I tend to like pour too much and stuff, so I try and pour it the teensiest amount first. And I'm doing that now. Oh, okay. And then quickly grab my sponge and start dotting it in places. I will do another cup layer usually. This you can layer really nicely and it looks nice. Also, I'm sorry if the lighting's quite bright. I can't tell right now looking at the viewfinder if it is or not. But I'm using natural sunlight, and natural sunlight tends to be temperamental, so it depends. But basically that's why I look really pale and white, so I'm sorry if I do. I'm not sure if I do or not. But if I do, that's why. I can't really control the night lighting, natural lighting, so yeah. I know it. And I make sure I blend to the hairline because I keep my hair down most of the time, so you know, you can see little separate colours. You can see the darker colour up there usually then, so kind of really have to blend into that, which is kind of sad because it gets into your hair, and mine's like freshly washed hair at the moment. So yeah, and then I moved into my neck a bit as well. Now, it doesn't give the highest coverage, but I feel like when I have a good skin day it works. Like, I don't have breakouts as massively anymore unless it's like the time of the month and stuff, but so really the only thing to cover is my scarring, which is easier to do. I feel like I'm still dark down here, like not on my face. Okay, so next is powder, which you don't have to do with this foundation because it actually dries pretty matte. Like, currently it's still a bit tacky, so because it's quite warm in my room, maybe that's why, but usually it will dry down fairly matte. I think it's like a velvet matte, that's how I like to describe it, because it's not entirely matte, but it feels quite dry usually. So I powder anyway though, because I have extremely oily skin, so I can't trust my skin to not be oily. And I use my regular Mineral Magic because I still to find a better powder than this, so if anyone has any suggestions, leave them in the description please, in the comments please. Yeah, so I just do it under my eyes because I've got more product there obviously because I had the concealer there too. Because strangely enough, I don't tend to sweat anywhere, like even on my armpits and stuff, but I tend to sweat on my upper lip a lot. So it's kind of weird. Even in summer, like that's the most place I will sweat. It's strange, but it's the way my body works. And then I just do a bit on my neck, not too much, just whatever's left on the brush. Okay. So the next thing, we're going to keep going with the face, because my face is the focal bit of this look. That's the most concentrated bit with product. So next is brows, and I do my typical brow routine, so I'll show you a bit of it, but you don't really need to see it because it's something I do all the time. Please ignore the way I'm holding this. I have a very strange way of holding things. But yeah, so I have like, I don't have a specific way, I literally just fill them in and follow the natural shape. And yeah, I just fill in the sparse areas. Also, forgot to mention, I'm using Sleek Eyebrow Kit in dark. I just realised I didn't mention it at all, but yeah, but most people, if you watch my videos regularly, would know I've been using that for about a year or two now, so yeah, you'd probably already figured it out. And then I usually go back and forth between the spoolie and the filling in, because the spoolie helps diffuse the colour and make it look a bit more natural. And if you're like me and create errors, just go back in with your sponge and you should be able to clean it up. because usually, as I said, I'm usually going to uni when I'm doing this makeup and I end up brushing and I do end up making mistakes. So as long as you're calm about it, you can fix it usually. Okay, so that's how the brows look. They tend to look a bit bold on camera for some odd reason, but I have naturally really dark and thick brows, so they just look bold in general. Okay, so the next thing is blush, and I don't do contour anymore on a daily basis, simply because I don't have to take my time to do it, otherwise I'll mess it up, and I don't think I have enough time usually, so I don't bother. What I do lately, what I have been doing lately is a kind of flushed face, kind of fresh, kind of spring look, I guess, because we've just gone into spring now, but I've been doing it for a few weeks now, this look. But what I've been using lately, I mentioned it in my February favourites, is the Stila Convertible Colour Blush in Lilium, and it's the brightest one. I have two, but I'm using the brighter colour out of the two, and then I take e.l.f. Stipple brush and I stipple it on, I guess. I don't have a specific way of doing it, I just get the colour on and then kind of show my apples and just pat it on, and then hopefully hope for the best that it'll blend out. And if I feel like I need more colour, I put more on, and that's what I'm going to do today, because as much as it's showing up in person, it's not showing up very well on camera, and I'm not really going anywhere after this, so it's all for the camera right now. And that's how it looks, if you can see it, slightly maybe. It just adds a really nice pinky, kind of blushing, naturally blushing look. I don't know if I naturally blush this colour, but yeah. Then I like to use another powder blush to kind of set it, and also to add more colour. This has also been mentioned in my February favourites, which is Ludanmei, which is like a European brand, I think. Terra Cotta Blush in number 3, and I take the Real Techniques, the name's rubbing off, buffing brush. I know it's like a foundation brush, but you know, use your brushes wherever you want. So I take it and I really load it up, because as much as it's pigmented, it's not that pigmented, so you do have to get quite a bit onto the brush, and because it's a dense brush as well, I think I got enough. And then I start packing it on top. Okay, now I'm done. Now you can see the colour more vibrantly, if you see, like right there. And I do brush it up to the, like, what's this called? The temples, the high points of the face. That's it. Kind of got it nearly. Okay, that's enough. I think I may have overdone it a bit. I get excited with blush quite often. The last bit on the face is highlight, and I use MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. It's really the only highlighter that I use. I think it's because it's kind of golden highlighter. I quite like it. I've never really experimented with other ones. I'm too scared to experiment with other ones because I always think that they won't work on me. So I do it on the high points of my face, so my cheeks. Now the brush I use is one of those Jessup style ones. It's not a Jessup one, but it's like from the same make, I guess. It's an eyeshadow brush actually, but I quite like it for highlight, because it gives you quite, I like more of an intense highlight than a diffused one, so it gives you quite an intense highlight. The only issue is with this blush, this highlight, is like some highlights, it can show up like emphasize bad bits on your skin. So if you've got big pores or like scarring or something like that, like acne scarring and such, it can like kind of emphasize it, like it emphasized my larger pores at the top of my cheeks. But I like the highlight too much to care. So I don't usually care too much. I generally like being quite highlighted overall. In general, like if I'm not going to do contour or anything like that, I like to look quite highlighted then at least. And then the last two places are, I pack a whole lot on my Cupid's bow right here, because I have really weird shaped lips, so I try and like emphasize them, make them look nicer with other highlight. Okay, that's my face fully highlighted. And then Usually I might leave it here and then go on to lipstick, but some days if I'm really feeling it, I use an eyeshadow. And there's one eyeshadow in this new palette that I bought recently that I really love. So I finally invested because they're not that expensive, but I finally got some Morphe palettes, and this specific one is 35W, and it's kind of the neutral brownish kind of shades. I think it's like the warm shades, that's what the W stands for. And if you can see, there's a bright orange there, very, very bright. I quite like this colour. So what I do is I take the Morphe M504 brush and I load it on to that orange eyeshadow. Obviously I don't crazy go because it's quite pigmented, so I do like kind of pat it off, as you can hear. And then what I do is take the brush and work into my crease. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And this brush is so soft, like I can barely feel it working into my crease. Like I know it's there, but it doesn't feel scratchy or anything like that, and I love it. It's become my new favourite crease brush. Because it's bigger, it does diffuse the colour out more, if you can see. If I close my eye, you can probably see it's more diffused. It's not like precisely in the crease, but it does the job for me. I need to focus this nicely so you guys can see it. It does the job for me. It kind of adds some more warmth to my eyes, and it complements the blush that I'm wearing too. I've really been loving this orange look because I didn't think it'd suit me when I first got the palette, and I was quite scared by the orange colour, but I really, really like it because I did a makeup look for when it was my cousin's birthday, and I used this as my like transition shade, and it became my favourite colour in this entire palette. Actually, out of all the palettes I own currently, it's my favourite colour. And I own quite a few palettes too, so it may look quite bright here, but it's very subtle in reality. It just adds some warmth. So now I don't really take any more colour, and then I just kind of blend out quite a lot with whatever's left on the brush. So that's it. Oh, it looks really bright on camera if I look in the viewfinder. I promise you guys it's not this bright in real life. Okay, so then I just been using this sample mascara that I got lately. I don't use a lot of mascara usually because my eyes are very irritated by it. But I've been using Clinique High Impact Mascara in black. I guess they have other colours or something. But the wand I don't think is the exact same as the full size one. But the formula is really nice and it doesn't irritate my skin. But what I do is I wipe off some of it. As you can see, there's quite a lot on there. And then what I do is just do mascara, I guess, but like a light layer. I don't know what this does in terms of like the name High Impact, because I have naturally quite long and thick lashes anyway, so I don't know what it does in that sense, but it's a nice mascara because it doesn't irritate my eyes, so it's a plus for me. Also guys, I found out what I'm allergic to. My doctors did a blood test to find out what I'm allergic to, why I continuously have watery eyes. Now they thought I might be allergic to dust because I have asthma. Turns out I'm allergic to the two things that are very important in my life. My cats. I'm allergic to cats. So that's a bit of a problem for me. I unfortunately have to live with the fact that I'm allergic to cats. Okay, so the last thing is a lipstick. Well, it's not really a lipstick, it's more of like a tinted lip balm kind of thing. It's from Avon and it's called Ravishing Raspberry. It looks beautiful in the tube, it looks so bright, but it honestly doesn't come out this bright. I tend not to get it too bright because I don't like it too bright, but I'm not very precise with it either, so because it's more of a lip balm, lip tint, I guess. But yeah, guys, that's the look. So I'll just take my hairband off so you can actually see me how I would on a regular day, I guess. My hair kind of down, but not really because it's not straight. I didn't really have time to straighten it, so this is it. So it's very fresh and bright, but it's spring, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I should talk to you guys real soon. Toodles!